Hello everyone, my name is Lanso90 and welcome to Let's Play Crisis in the Kremlin. I don't know if this is going to be very good or not, I just randomly saw it on Steam. Can I lower this volume anymore? There we go. I don't know if it's going to be good, it looks like it's made by a super indie team, but we'll give it a try. You can see that interface is a little bit odd. Like to exit the game, I have to click this and then click on the poster. I think it's all been made by Russians. Might be obvious, but you'll probably notice some grammar mistakes for the English version here. Let's look at the tutorial. I'm going into this blind, by the way. I haven't played it yet. Greetings, comrade. You've just started to rule our country, and you don't... For once, I'm not going to mess things up on my own. And you don't know how things work? It's not a problem. I'll explain it to you. Firstly, click on the seal below to confirm your competence. You have your personal cabinet, comrade, where you can see your current situation in the country. From here, you will use different means of ruling the country and give direct orders. Explore the cabinet and click on the button on the radio when you are ready. Oh geez. Alright. The interface is a little bit weird here. So let's just try to take things in. Population. To click through the cabinet. It said to start the radio when I'm ready, but I don't see how to check out the cabinet first like it said. So I'll start the radio. Be able to change the sound and play a random tune from there. From available. This is a bad interface. Panel on the right is showing general information about the current situation. It shows relations with the USA. Try to avoid conflicts with them every time when relations become less than 0. DEFCON, a number which shows how close the world is to a large-scale conflict, becomes lower, and you will get a crisis event. When DEFCON is less than 2, your only choice will be to start a detente, which will cost money, or start cooperating with the USA, which will cost some of Leninism's achievements. Some doctrines will become more pro-American, or you can just nuke the imperialists if you want to. However, depending on some factions' positions, majority in the Supreme Council, detente can be your only available option. If relations are more than 100, DEFCON will rise, but not higher than 5. B, income, it shows how much money you gain or spend. If the number is negative, at the end of each turn, income or spendings and event map action spendings arrive every 2 turns. Relations with China work similarly with the USA relations, but they don't affect DEFCON. If situations are too low, China will make aggressive actions, but in that case you can rely on the power of your army or financial resources. Oh geez. Power of the army. While wars between superpowers are now long gone, is what I'm thinking there. Strong army is still needed for local conflicts and some operations, and of course even a superpower can be attacked by a more powerful enemy. Soviet budget. All available money except your gold reserves can be spent in different economic spheres. Authority points. Even a ruler must have enough authority in order to make changes. You'll use them to change doctrines, appoint new ministers, and interact with other countries on the world map. Some events can also use points. These points can drop below 0, but they are restored over time. Loyalty of the CSS. Writing special services are not a good thing. I guess it means attacking special services. Loyalty is too low, you'll have to confront them. People in army can help you, but it's better to prevent such situations. Loyalty of generals. Unhappy generals can still easily organize a military coup. You'll still have the CSS and people on your side. Science points. You'll spend these points in the Academy of Sciences to develop new technologies which will surely help you. These are gained through financing, science, and other factors. For example, space station mirror. Population shows how many people produce goods, pay taxes, demand jobs, etc. Large population can also increase the size of your army. Provide you people with medicine, homes, population will increase, while hungry and homelessness people will reproduce less. If a republic exists in the USSR, its population will stop being yours. However, these numbers don't show reality. You can find more accurate information by using the map on the wall. Map shows statistics, which include some information from the right panel. It just shows loyalty of left and right wings of the party, the CSS and the general quality of the life, general state economy, heavy industry, agriculture, etc. DEFCON, other useful information. All these parameters influence each other and frequently, so you can see the results of your politics when you should get changed. Oh geez. I see. I don't know what that is. Industry, loyalty to armies, loyalty to KGB, loyalty to generals, oh, that's another KGB. Okay. Oh jeez. Globe, it's a diplomatic map of the world. By choosing region and country, you can see its name, government type, and political orientation and membership in international organizations. White circle and the UN flag, country is neutral. Blue and white star and the USA flag, the country is pro-American. Supports the USA. NATO logo, country is a member of NATO. Military alliance of the USA. Yellow and red star, country is pro-Soviet and supports the USSR. ComCon logo. Red and white star with rings, country is a member of the ComCon economic alliance with the USSR. Warsaw Pact logo, Union of Peace and Socialism, country is a member of the Warsaw Pact. Military alliance of the USSR, hammer and sickle, country is a member of the USSR. Oh boy. Sometimes initial information about the country is shown, ruling party, local war, its loyalty, etc. Many countries can be interacted with using buttons below. Information about its actions require fulfillment of the listed requirements and at least one authority point, while actions with different countries are also different. There are some general ones. Donations, dotations, support and financing of a country will drain your resources and reduce your income, but it's cheap to finance some countries, but a large number of donations can damage your economy. Donations for third world countries can work differently. Military aid or invasions reduce the size and power of your army. Changes are not significant, but don't do it too often. Diplomatic map is the only way to find support of the USSR countries. Keep in mind that when a country leaves the USSR, so-called status appears that shows likeliness of a country to join NATO. If its status reaches 0, the country will join NATO and become a lot harder to return it. Warsaw Pacts work similarly. If loyalty is too high, country will distance from the USSR. If liberalization is high, it will pass a capitalistic reforms, neither it will end well. So this is just a preview of that map. That's a weird map. Okay. Radio, it shows your modifiers. They show general situation in the world and the USSR specifically. Every modifier can be positive or negative. For example, a war in Afghanistan damages the economy, while palace of Soviets improves national loyalty and unity. You can gain or lose modifiers as a result of your actions. Okay. Calculator will be the most visited place because you will use it to distribute available resources. It's done by entering a number and pressing accept near the budget item. Budgets consist of several sections. Army, if you invest here, please. Power and loyalty of the army. Surprising, isn't it? Administrative spendings. There are more money for police, state apparatus, and special services. Keep in mind that Fed officials will steal less. The state's apparatus won't allow corruption, and well-equipped CSS will capture corrupt figures more often. Spiritual spendings, you can spend money for art and religion, unless you fight with it. Science investing. Here will generate more science points depending on the chosen sphere. positively affects other factors. Keep in mind that too large investments can damage ecology and loyalty of conservatives. Influence, bribe for the CSS, formers, and others, however, can increase corruption, propaganda, increase national unity, condemn liberalism, and slightly increase loyalty of army and intellectuals. Oh, geez. Donations will improve your international reputation, support diplomacy, which will increase your relations with other countries. You can also improve ecology here. Don't forget about it. Economy, the most important part. Here you distribute the money for industry, agriculture, constructions, etc. Keep in mind that you do not have to invest large sums of money to improve the economy. Moreover, too many investments will demand more ecology spendings, and income will be nullified by increasing corruption. But I don't recommend cutting spending too much. Import, of course, it will help fighting deficit if you have weak industry, and import will damage any industry and strengthen your enemies. Welfare, here you distribute the social spendings. Large spendings will increase the quality of life and national loyalty. You can also fight with corruption here, but large spendings can encourage fighters to steal too. It'll be even worse. Okay. Telephone, from here you can visit these places. Supreme Council, it shows the main factions in the country, usually some new doctrines. Economy type, for example, or diplomatic actions that require some faction majority. And Supreme Council, percentage of the factions is reflected by your actions, certain ministries, or just your support. Okay, doctrines, here you have a few of them, but they function the same way. Here you choose economic and political systems which will affect statistics. Every doctrine has advantages and disadvantages. You need some authority points to unlock ministries, and 15 more points to change your doctrine. Okay, my sciences, here you could spend science points to research some new technologies. Even every technology will also cost some money, but they will give enormous advantages. State statistics, here you can view some income and spendings, however they're not very accurate, so don't bother with it. Gold reserves, there's not enough money for events or like options in the calculator. Money will be taken from here. And information about oil production and trade, if you press the arrow you'll see more. Main politicians and their power, the more powerful your opponents are, the more they will damage your achievements and career. However, some strong politicians can improve your current situation. Council of Ministers. Here you can appoint your men to high government positions. You can see their political views and will help predict your actions. This interface is bad. We're probably going to one-off this. Are we done? The tutorial? Final advices. I think that you'll be able to navigate freely here, but most of the questions will involve other things, so there are answers for the most important questions which will help you to reach a glorious future. You can skip them by pressing the arrow in the next window. It's not easy to be a reformer. Once you pass some reforms, people will demand more. I think you understand that developing on a choice will make, when such demands occur, you will face a lot of new problems. If too many countries leave the Union, it will be moved from power. It's a bad idea unless you act as a liberator of nations, even if you are a reformer. Almost every action like support SMB, give aid to the country or group, organize an event, both on map and during events, will take some money. This might just be this might go on and on. Alright, let's try to play it. Oh no, these are the same dates. I guess we'll just do the earliest one. Use your general secretary. Create your character and start your own way as conservative, neo-Stalinism, opposite of the reformers, reformer, opponent of the old guard, supporter of democracy, moderate, huge experience, respectable member of party, conservativist, reactionist supporter of compromise principle. I don't really know most of these people other than Gorbachev. I've heard of Romanov, but I don't remember what he did. This guy sounds closest to what I might go toward. Gorbachev hadn't succumbed to Gorbachev's promises and hadn't risked to support him, though he listened to the party colleagues' advices and to himself. Having Gorshkin's support, even Gorbachev understood that he wouldn't gain anything voted for him. Now Gromyko thinks the Union needs reforms. A moderate type is ready to face responsibilities for such a huge country. Let's just go with him. I get to read that. We'll assume that the game's turn-based, but I could be wrong. I don't think I can turn the volume down more than this, huh? Well, I can do that, but that's a little bit much. What are the decibels? The hell, I might change it for you guys. Oh well. Okay. So were these just meters? Like I don't set a rate here. Okay. Oh, let's read that. June 17th, 1953, mass shootings in GDR because of food crisis, industrialization, and a wish of Soviet administration to unite Germany. I guess we just decide our history because it said we were starting in 85, but it said it was 80 or 53. His army controlled the process, run over the rebels with the tanks, support transfer of power to moderates. Okay, so pre-game events. GDR. I need to look up what the GDR is. It sounds like it's Germany. East Germany. Okay. Or transfer of power to moderates. Government retired. The new administration declared decentralization of the economy. Workers taking part in making production plans and the end of the industrialization. Hungary. Hungarian Revolution. Mass riots against socialist administration after part with the government side of rebels. I don't really want to use the army to step on their own. Government retired, new administration, decentralized the economy. Workers taking production plans, liberalization of Auction, the beginning of mass liberalization from the government of Czechoslovakia. Amendment reforms using threats. Our pressure, Dubček corrected some reforms in order not to see Soviet takes anytime soon. Lerman's reform, 1965-97, Lerman's reform planned, expanding independence for businesses, unions, and organizations, wide use of material stimulation. Lerman evaluated the cost of reform as a cost of paper, which will be used to publish the orders, while this project was forgotten. I don't really understand if this guy is planning independence businesses. The idea of optimizations. Declining Lieberman's reform, significant number of resources used to develop optimization, but we won't get results soon. Base race, 1975. Now, when we spent most of the resources for weapons races, and political struggle all over the world, during which a large amount of money is used to improve the economy and social conditions of other socialistic countries. We have little sources left for the space race. Doesn't make us any good, and it won't during the next few centuries. A lot of people don't see a point in it anymore, so maybe we should stop it. Never. Decision: make peace with USA, just stop the race. Peaceful space race continues. The race goes to armed. Only I want to make it an armed conflict, I do want to continue it though. An obvious continuation of big Americano-Soviet space race was expressed in creation of reusable manned transport spaceship Space Shuttle in the USA, which was regularly used since 1981, and the Buran in the USSR, which was tested and unmanned and made it possible for manned flight to the moon and Mars, together with a research equipment. Oh no, it's not that. It's pretty much a clone of the US shuttle. It's a little bit bigger. Tiny bit. Islamic Revolution in 1979, Islamic Revolution of 1979 in Iran, during which the Shah Mohammad Reza was overthrown and power was claimed by the Shia government led by sorry guys. Constitutional monarchy was replaced with Islamic Republic, which began repressions against communists. Side relations: support communist rebels, support Islamic socialism, create a large left opposition. Support the communist rebels this time. Mass purges continue in Iran to answer to all growing opposition and guerrilla movement. In 1984, all opposition groups were destroyed. I guess I shouldn't have done that because it's kind of pointless, huh? I don't know if this is using our points that we have already. 1980, retirements of Poland. After Poland gained a massive debt and entered into an economic crisis, government had to raise all prices, which led to protests. Leader Poland retired, but now anyone still can't deal with the situation. I guess we'll use the army this time. The army control the protests. Residents and others were dispersed by the army. We have minimum victims. Okay. More pluralism. When we came to power, now we understand that there are only a few people with certain reformist views. You can change it. The crucial step is coming. First step, you can maintain a young and possibly progressive neo-communist party of the Soviet Union. You can secretly release Tarasov from psychiatry hospital. You can return Yakovlev or Kosovo. Yakovlev is opposed of the invasion of Czechoslovakia and has close family ties with the British monarchy. Lipskov and reinstatement of Molotov and party. He was condemned for his Stalinism. Told you about a possible future counter-revolution in the party. You can counter the work of Andropev. Form a special economic permission. Oh my god. I'll prepare for the foundation of economic reforms. Create a commission. Elkin was given an honor to form a special commission to prepare for Soviet economy for widespread reforms. Economists and party officials with reformist views were included in the commission. Common plan program was already socialist market economy. Ooh, this game, guys. Okay. Comrade General Secretary. Now, when you have come along to power, you need to appoint uniformal second person of the country, the secretary on ideology, who would be your comrade, your de facto under secretary, and the man who will maintain your policy on an ideological level. There are quite a few variants, and all of them can influence our country's life. There's no filter. Moderate Stalinist, Romanov, I guess moderate Stalinist. Romanov, who had been put forward by Andropov, was administering Leningrad with a firm hand and greatly raised city economy and development, provided growth of welfare. Now has become the undersecretary, is realizing his stringent pragmatic. Oop. I didn't mean to do that. Alright, I think we have to just one-off this. It seems potentially interesting, but like, oh, this is a bad interface. Like, it's really bad. And it's hard to read, and it's hard to pronounce the names, of course, but that's my fault. But I'm gonna leave it here. Hope you all enjoyed, and have a good day.